From a security standpoint, cloud also has sufficient security as long as you are securing it properly. There is the argument that public cloud is more public, which essentially means that nobody will want to think about hacking a data center that exists somewhere in Secunderabad, in India, in Hyderabad. But if it is AWS, then it's in the eye of everyone. So there's a higher probability of it being attacked if it is on AWS rather than on being on-premise data centers. That is one of the traditional ways of thinking about where to host the data. But so that, and then you might have latency requirements. So for example, your users might be sitting somewhere in some location, and it's a very latency sensitive application. So you don't want the data to reside very far away from where the users are, in which case you might have a small on-premise data center in that location. Usually manufacturing sites have this use case where the application is managing real equipment like a robotic arm or something. And so the application needs to reside very close to where the equipment is. And in such cases, you have to go with on-premise data centers, or you could go with what I talked about earlier, distributed cloud, which means you could have an outpost set up in that particular location if your compute or data storage requirements are heavy and you want to use some native services, right? So that's another possibility. So that's the case for a hybrid cloud. So these are some of the patterns or architectural patterns or logic on how you would decide what workload goes onto which cloud.